everybody. For those of you who have just joined us on this live broadcast, we are very excited to have you here today. We are sitting in the middle of the Masai Mara National Reserve. My name is Taylor, and on camera with me today is Sebastian. And we are smiling from ear to ear. This is my second crossing, and this is Sebastian's first time seeing the wildebeest cross the Mara River. How cool is this? Now, there's a little bit of a gap at the moment. There's a break in the herd. Most of them have gone through, but don't worry. There are some more streaming in. They've heard the sounds of the splashing water, the grunts of the wildebeest, and that is encouraging them to stream on in. Now, when you do a cross like this, you don't want to do it on your own. You want to have a lot of you. But if this is your first time watching one of our live broadcasts, I'm very excited to have chats with all of you. So if you have any questions, you can just comment away in the comment section, and those will be fed through to me. A little bit quiet. Look how they're slipping. It's very, very muddy. We had quite a bit of rain in this area, and with the wildebeest that have already gone through, they've churned up the mud, which makes it a bit slippery. They don't have the greatest 4x4 tread on their hooves, so it can be a little bit on the tough side. But just have a little listen to the sounds. So you can hear them all talking to one another, basically encouraging the others that are streaming in from the distance to say, hurry, hurry, there's a crossing happening now. And like I said, you want to do it in a big group. Obviously, traveling on your own in a river like this, there's lots and lots of crocodiles around, but they just seem to not have woken up just yet, or perhaps they've already got full bellies because the crossings have been happening for the last couple of days within this area. And it's so great to see that so many of these wildebeest are actually making it through. They're not stampeding on top of one another, which is also good because drownings can happen very, very easily in the river. Now, you may have just seen the back of one of the cars. There's quite a few vehicles around here watching these animals cross this morning. This is so exciting. A little bit deep there, but luckily it's not too wide. A couple of leaps and bounds, and they're pretty much through. I'm still waiting to see if any of the crocodiles are going to respond to the rippling water and the sounds of the splashes. But this is not happening right now. Dory, you said that these wildebeest are pretty smart. They are indeed. They're very clever because it's quite a nice section to cross in terms of it not being completely covered by water. Just around the corner, there's some very deep... Oh, excuse me. Now you know it's live in case you had any doubt. Must be all the dust that's being kicked up from the wildebeest. Apologies there. But yes, it is, and they're actually lucky that there's a bit of rocky terrain, and then they get up to the section where there's a bit of mud, and that can be a bit slippery too. Oh, excuse me, little ones. Thank you, Seb. Little ones just struggling. Come on, you can do it. It must be quite tiring. Imagine the adrenaline that's running through these animals' bodies. You know, it's very, very terrifying as they go through this. Ryan, you said run for it. That's exactly what they're doing. Here comes another group. One lone wildebeest taking the plunge. Off you go. And it's going to start the next trend, and the next set of wildebeest are going to come on around. There they go. This is a great, great crossing. Go wildebeest. And so far we've got a 100% success rate of them marching through the river. No fatalities just yet. So this is very, very exciting. It's very sad to see how many thousands of wildebeest died, not even just from the crocodiles taking them down, but just from being stampeded and then of course drowning and breaking of their legs. There's another group that's massing, which is quite cool. I'm trying to see if I can get a bit of view, but I think we've actually got a prime position at the moment, just through this little gap. Off we go. Up you go. Well done, wildebeest. Now, Ellen, you're wondering if the crocodiles will sort of head into the area and try and catch the wildebeest at certain times of the day. I suppose it just depends on where the crocodiles are. I can actually see, you won't be able to see them. There's a couple of smaller crocs. They're just behind the vehicle, just out of view, and not particularly big. But because the wildebeest have been crossing through the whole day, maybe the crocs that are around here are actually just full, and there's no need for them to feast at the moment. It's actually this is the calmest crossing I've seen. I've only seen the two. I've seen quite a few from the River Cambit in terms of actually sitting here and experiencing it. So I think it depends, and I think when you get one crocodile moving in, perhaps that encourages the others to come through and start feeding away. Because remember, it's hard for one crocodile to try and eat an entire wildebeest on its own. They can't tear flesh off of the wildebeest like, for example, a lion or a leopard would. And so when crocodiles do frenzy and surround one wildebeest that they've caught, they will all tear chunks and death roll, and this of course helps. I'm just thinking, I'm still deciding if we've got a good spot. You can see there they are massing again. They're actually turning around now, and this happens quite often. They'll go back and forwards, back and forwards. Do we go, do we not? Are we going to stay? Is the grass greener on the other side? And that's all they're doing. So just following the reins around at the moment. This group seems a little bit unsure. Now, if you have just jumped on and you've joined us live, this is happening right now in the middle of the Masai Mara National Reserve, and you're welcome to ask us questions. So please comment away. I look forward to hearing about it, whether it's your first time perhaps watching a crossing. What are your feelings about the crossing? I mean, this, in terms of crossings, is a very successful one. The wildebeest won, hands down. The Mara River, unfortunately, lost out this time. But good job, wildebeest. And they're marching away now. I think this car is going to reposition. Whew, that was very cool, wasn't that? Now they're just marching away, everyone's just repositioning a little bit, but I quite like the spot that we've got, so I think we'll just hold up our space over here. It's very nice. We're just looking around to see there's wildebeest coming from everywhere. If you were watching our shows earlier, you would have seen we had thousands of wildebeest, and they're all slowly coming in this direction. So I don't think that this is going to be the end of the crossings. I think there's going to be a bit of a break now. This herd has decided that, well, they're not having any of it. They're not quite ready to jump down and try and cross the river. All you need is just one to really build up the courage and take the plunge. It's not a steep embankment either, so they're not leaping off the edge. It's very, very easy for them. I absolutely love it when you see big groups successfully making it across. And that was exactly what's happened here. But we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to hang around and wait very patiently for the next group of wildebeest to march through the river. So from all of us here, thank you for watching, and keep an eye out for those live notifications, because you never know what's going to happen next when you're out here. But we'll see you all soon.